Hello everyone and welcome. We are here, we are live, we are ready to go, and we are once again in Kerbal Space Program. This is what I've been calling my hardcore mode. Excuse me for a moment. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I've been fighting a cold, and as soon as I started talking, it came back on me again. Oh, okay. Let's start this all again. So this is what I've been calling my hardcore mode. Sorry again. And in this game, what I've been doing is playing it on the hard mode with the difficulty, the science turned down to 30%. And so that, for some reason, I wanted to go progress at a slower rate, but otherwise this is a stock game. I have dressed it up a little bit with some visual mods and some UI type mods, but no new parts. No parts that are not stock other than what's in the DLCs, and no gameplay changes at all. Okay, I'm going to try and get through this and do this the best I can. So, as we left off last episode, I was building myself a space plane. Why don't we go and show that to you? So here's what it is so far, and we gave it a first test flight and didn't quite make it to orbit. Sorry, everybody. So what we're going to have to do is try and make some improvements. The idea of this is to be a crew transport to low Kerbal orbit. It can hold up to 5 Kerbals, go up there and dock with the station, bring crew up and down, and be obviously reusable as well. Also, the other thing I should be mentioning as well before we get too far ahead with the stream is I like to always welcome aboard my most recent Patreon patrons and YouTube members. So welcome aboard Ray Gaming TV and Nicholas Livingston. I'm going to try this for a little while longer, but I'm going to let people know in advance I might have to bail if this keeps up with the way it is. I was honestly fine most of the day, and as soon as I started talking a lot, yeah, here we are. So we'll see how it goes over the next little bit, but if I have to bail, I'm going to have to apologize in advance because I don't want to go through the whole stream doing nothing but coughing into the microphone. Anyway, idea here, we're going to have to do some fixing up on this space plane, add a little bit more fuel, add a little bit, do some other stuff too to dress it up, give it a couple more tests, make sure that it can get up in orbit and descend safely with our Kerbals. Also have a number of contracts, most of which has to deal with Minmus. So I'd like this to become the vessel that's going to do kind of the first stage of that journey to get ourselves to Minmus. We need to put a station in orbit about Minmus and do all other kinds of things as well. But we'll see how far we get. Right now, this thing is going to take the priority. Now, one of the things that this had trouble with going up is the center of lift is too far forward, and it was having a little bit of trouble maintaining a stable flight, especially once all the fuel started to dissipate a little bit. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put on RCS Build Aid, and that adds not only the regular center of mass, but also the dry center of mass, which is really important for when we are going to be coming back. And I'm also obviously going to put on our center of lift. And what I want to do is I want to pull this center of lift downward. So let's get rid of these guys for now. And of course, the easiest way to accomplish that is simply to pull these wings back. So we'll do that. And same with this one. Oh, I also want to, now I'm thinking about it, add a bit more fuel. So what I'm thinking is just a couple more of these guys. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty healthy when it comes to... There we go. Oh, that needs to come back, doesn't it? Oh, shoot. Control Z on that. Move tool. I don't like this part here, so I'm going to move these tanks. Actually, now I'm looking at it. Let's see. Let's slide them back so that the textures here kind of match. And of course, now the lift is completely berzonkered. There we go. Okay, that's probably looking a little better. I am pretty limited for parts. Don't have a whole lot of parts to work with. So we're going to do the best we can with the parts we got. That's looking, I think, okay. And the other thing I want to do is I want to give a little bit of an angle to the wings. Right now they're dead straight. So I'm going to select these. I'm just going to give them, I always forget the word for this. Just a little bit. Okay, with this guy, just a little bit of a... And then we're going to move them. Should be on local. Oh, this way. Same with the one below. In fact, now that I'm looking at where the center of lift is, let's see if we can get that center of lift to line up right with that center of mass. Oh, that's looking all right. The dihedral, thank you. Okay. So, oh, I can see here. Now they're kind of poking. I don't like the way they're poking out here, so we're going to actually get them so they're not doing that. Whoops. This needs to come a little this way. And now they're poking out again. I think that'll have to do for all that kind of stuff. So I've added in a little bit of fuel. Added a little bit. Let's get rid of RCS Build Aid. Let's get rid of that center of lift. Added in the, brought the lift back a little bit. What else is on my list to do? Angle the wings, dig that. We got to put on some RCS. Because the idea of this thing is that it's going to dock with our station. So it's going to need a little bit of monopropellant. I'm assuming there is 7.5 units. We should do a little better than that. Here's another 7.5 units. I'm wondering... I know where I can hide this. I'm going to put on 2 of them. Can't get it... We just need to move this up. Gonna stick them. Quite often, if you put the snap back on here and just move this, it'll snap to the middle. I don't know if it's going to. Doesn't seem to want to move at all. There we go. I think that's looking pretty close to the middle. And then what I'm hoping to do, this might not work now, I'm thinking about it. Oh, that is exactly what I wanted to do. So they're kind of, my logic is that the nose cone here is hollow and that, you know, they're sitting inside of that. Okay. Now we need RCS blocks. So I'm going to use the small ones, these guys. And we'll put back on that RCS Build Aid because this is going to help us. And, probably keep the snap on. That gives me left, right, forward, back. And if I put on the 5-way variant, there we go. Now we get an upitude. You can see how there's an up vector on that as well. Actually, more. Let's just do that for now. I might be taking away some of those nozzles, but we'll see. couple here, and then another pair up here, and I can look at the torque number here that's coming at me from... This will help me get these nicely. Well, I guess these are going to have to go here, and then these are going to have to come forward. Yeah, forward a lot. How can that be right? Oh, because there's ones on the other side. Okay, I know what I got. Let's take these ones away. That's making more sense. Now these ones have to come down. Oh. Okay, try that again. Why is it? I can't get the torque down to 0. I'm not 100%. Okay, let's try just repeating this on the other side. And same thing down here. Where are those ones? Just above there. To be honest, the reaction wheels in the game are so strong. That fixed that up. Okay. Now what I got is I got a total of 8 thrusters going laterally, left and right, or starboard port. I got a total of 8. Okay, no, I think this is working. And then a total of 8, 4. No. This is good. Yeah, I was adding them on both sides there. That's why it was messed up. It's good now. Okay, we can remove that. Okay, so that's the RCS part. I'm just gonna leave it just like that. And got a lot of electricity, but a little bit of solar generation I think wouldn't be a bad idea. I do have this 3x2 one. I think probably just put on one of these. Just one. Right about there. We can extend that once we're in space. Okay, and now we'll just sort of pretty this up a little bit. So we do have... I can go shiny. That's the turd mod, which I think is the funniest name. I think I will go shiny. That. Perfect. This one in the middle. Okay, my coughing seems to have gotten better. I best not have jinxed that. And we can make this whole thing shiny. I might move the docking port closer to where the center of mass is. There's also this one where you can get into opening up the color GUI and changing like everything, but as good as that looks, I just find it just takes so much time and I kind of don't have the patience for it. Remove the flag. Where's the flag? Toggle flag. These guys can be shiny. And the wings. This thing's gonna blind somebody. Yeah. All right. I don't think that's too terrible. Put that mass and lift back on. I think it's getting close to being ready to do another test. I'm gonna move this just closer down to here. Come on. Is there a reason I can't grab that? Oh, it closes. Oh, that was weird. Okay, and just a little closer to where the center mass is, I think, because that way the RCS, well, you know what, I don't think it really matters. Now, the more I think about it, I don't think it matters. Let's put it closer to where the crew compartments are. It doesn't matter. Does not matter. Alright, I'm getting close to giving this another go. Let's put these launch clamps back on. And pair on the other side. And I also came up with a name for it, so this is the KSV for Kerbal Space Vehicle, C5 for Crude 501, and short's the Horizon. Oh, we gotta light it up too, and we gotta put some texty stuff on it. I said there aren't extra parts, but actually I kind of lied a little bit, because I do have these decals to put on it, but nothing that affects gameplay, that's for sure. So this is going to be the Horizon. And we will... Let's go with more kind of the Air Force thing. Yeah, let's do that. I'm not sure that's where I like it, though. You know what? I think I might move these guys. The mat, yeah. So I moved the wings back. I should move these back, and I think they'll look better too. But the main reason I'm doing that is because that gives me room for my sticker. Yeah. Okay, lights. Lights. Okay. What shall we do? Let's keep it simple. Actually, let's go to the mirror symmetry so I can put a light on both the front and the back. So we'll put a pair like this. We will make it shiny white, because of course we will. We'll make it white, put the blink on. And we'll put a pair under it. Match. So a pair of white blinky lights, and I'm actually going to just take this one. I'm going to remove it from the symmetry group, make it blink a little slower, and turn that one to amber, which was just a habit to take the dorsal one and make it an amber light. Well, got to put on our red and green ones too. Let's see, up at the front here. Does it feel right? Get them so they're not clipping into the texture like that. Again, white and shiny. This is the port. No, that's a starboard side. So that one needs to be green. That one needs to be red. Remove from the symmetry, make it red. Then we'll put some blinky ones too. Maybe about here. Again, they seem to want to clip into the textures. Okay, that one I'm going to put the blink on. That one's red, so we got to go to the other side. Move some symmetry, make it green. Need more than that. I think it's good that way. I think it's good. I think she's ready for a test fly. So... excuse me for a moment. You think it's going to be a pain in the keister? The center of lift and the center of mass are lined up, though. Like, I think that's pretty darn good. And I want to check the thrust to weight ratio at launch. Probably up these a little bit. Oh, perfect. 1.33. So all I got down here on the bottom are 3 reliant engines. There's nothing really super fancy going on. Just make them shiny too. Okay. Let's save and let's launch. You think Veos would approve? Oh my goodness, that is the highest compliment I probably could receive. Veos, yeah, he's the king of this stuff. He certainly does a better job than I do. Okay, yeah, I guess that's it. Okay, saving. Now what we're gonna do is we're just going to simulate this at first. We got Valentina aboard. Let's just throw Bill with her just to have a passenger. And we're gonna use our simulation mode, but because I'm not playing in hard mode, I do not have the ability to quick save or revert flight. So this is the only way I can test something and see if things go wrong or not. Once I'm doing this sort of in-game in mission, I don't have the ability to revert, so this thing better work for me, which is honestly the reason why I've been a little bit reluctant when it comes to space planes, because, you know, they can be little tricksy, right? Alright, so SAS on, throttle up, and let's punch it and see what happens. Oh, we can put the lights on. And let's punch her and see what happens. So last time it got, you could tell the center of lift was too far forward and it was getting a little unstable. I managed to massage it into orbit, but not without some adventures. Okay, we're gonna knock her over 90 or a little bit that way, and it does want to find the prograde vector, which is a good sign. It was kind of putting itself back on the prograde vector by itself. And basically the whole idea is this thing takes off like a rocket, comes down like a space plane. Oh, I gotta make these guys shiny too. I can see that. Don't let me forget that. So all rockets, they don't have anything like the jet engines. And you can see the simulation, by the way, is costing me a bit of money. I'm up to about 1,500 Kerbal thus far. So I've done nothing much. I haven't adjusted its flight at all. I've just kept it locked onto the prograde vector. I think I'm going to reduce throttle here a little bit as our time to apoapsis begins to approach a minute. Hopefully this thing will get up there with plenty of fuel. Veos did take one of my Sad Dog live stream base planes once and just completely did a little video on how he was going to make it better. Which of course he did. So we have watched each other a little bit. All right. I think I might. Well, we'll see. We'll see what we get. I don't know what's cheaper if I get this into orbit to then go just continue the simulation and go into the descent, but I can also use the simulation to simulate the craft into orbit. I don't know which way is cheaper way to go. I might just keep going with this. I don't know how much it's going to cost me once I start time warping, though, to get around to the other side of the planet. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to stop fiddling with the throttle. Just let this thing go. The other thing now that, well, let's see what we get once we're in orbit, is these tanks are mostly empty. So during the descent, it's nice to have the center of mass as far forward as you can. So what I shall probably do, this thing needs more lights. What I shall probably do is pump fuel forward, but since I have so many empty cans, I have the luxury of being able to do that. And then you can use that to control where your center of mass is during the descent. Oh, that is just over 80. I'm feeling pretty good. We're almost at orbital velocity. Our periapsis is in the positive numbers. And we have, what's that, 484. It's going to take almost nothing to put this thing into orbit. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this. Set the most forward cans at a lower priority. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Especially these guys here. Just set them at the lowest priority, and then I don't have to think about it. I think I shall do that. Oh, the simulation doesn't go, the money doesn't change while you're time warping. See that? Well, that's neat to know. Or does it suddenly just jump? It does suddenly jump. No, it's not jumping a lot. Okay. So we're going to finish this orbit. Yeah, this freezes when I time warp. Good to know. Alright, that's in orbit, and I still got 429 meters per second left, so I'm comfortable with that. You can just do this for the solar panel purposes, but that should take care of, just that itself should take care of solar panels. Alright, well, I'm ready to bring this puppy down. I don't know about you, but I think I'm just gonna do that. So if we take these two cans here and make them our in cans. So, but I do agree, changing the priorities is the smarter move. Just go, or just, no, the best way to do it is just one can at a time and just say out. Then it'll go even between those two. There we go. And this one out, out. And this is just to move the center of mass forward. And then if I find the thing is too nose heavy when I get back into the atmosphere, it's pretty easy to just do the opposite of this. Like just start moving some of the fuel back again. All right. Okay, so let's put on that. I'm going to start my descent burn when I'm under the Woomerang site here. We'll get to see what this looks like in the dark. Ah, I could have saved myself a little money by pumping fuel while time warping. That is true. But it was so little time warping with each, because there's, yeah, whatever. Alright, so we'll do that. Stick this onto the retrograde vector. I did have the luxury of putting on the Trajectories mod, so we'll see how this works for us. My descent last week went terribly. So hopefully this time things will go a little better. But then again, I completely lost control of the craft because the center of mass wasn't right. Okay, so that is my descent profile I'm going to use. We're going to target the KSC. Let's do this thing. Put our little red cross right on our green cross, or close enough, because we can adjust this as we go down. Slap that onto prograde. Retract our solar panels. Put this on surface. Change the view to free. Roll this way. Do a little time warping. I do like doing this risk-free, but if this all goes well, the next time I'm doing this will not be risk-free. Okay, go that. Put this right on the green square on the nav ball, because that is... And then I'm going to actually keep these guys pinned over here for my fuel, and if I need to, we can suck some fuel into this one to move the center of mass back if I find this thing is just too nose heavy. So keep an eye on electricity, but I feel like I got tons of electricity. I don't need to worry about it. There we go. Okay, into the atmosphere we go. We're going. Ah, Blue Jays won last night. They've been on a tear. Apollo 4 saying, hey, Blue Jays won. They've been on a tear. That's for sure for the last couple of weeks. The one thing you got to always keep in mind, though, these tears never last, but you do enjoy them when they when you got them. So I can see here, let's see, I am coming to the south, so I need to point. Actually, no. I think this fixes. Yeah, I need to point to the south because of that, and I always get this confused. Am I overshooting or undershooting? I am overshooting when this says west. So we got to do a bit of both of these, like that. Get these two numbers down to 0. It's nice to do that early on when there aren't that many aerodynamic forces on the plane. More of kind of a belly flop coming in right now. The other thing I can do is it's actually useful to watch this and watch what your pitch indicator is doing, because that's telling you how much it's struggling to keep on. It's pitching back a little bit, so it might be... It's actually, I think the center, it is, I think, a little nose heavy, but that's not bad. Okay, what am I doing here? That's getting closer. I'm still overshooting a lot. I can use Waypoint Manager. I can target the KSC, put a little waypoint on there. Yeah, it's definitely nose heavy, but it's better that than the other way around. Taking a little bit of fuel. Okay, stop. Nice to get it to be a bit more balanced. Looking at the numbers here, coming pretty close, and you can see that red circle now coming right onto the green. That's telling me I'm right on track. So now I just need to hang around where the green rectangle is, and everything should be okay. In theory. Starting to get those lovely Firefly effects. What's it look like from this side? Really wants to pitch down. But like I said, that's better than the other way around, because when it's the other way around, that's when it flips around backwards. Excuse me once again. Right now, though, this is doing very well. I'm not doing a heck of a lot of work. If I just leave it, it does want to kind of hold on to its vector, so that's good. I am simultaneously flying and extricating a cough drop. Okay. Sorry, really hard to read the chat right now. If I'm being asked about other mods, like for far future and near future, I would think I kind of made the theme of this one to be kind of stockish. Sorry, I'm pitching the wrong way here. The red. Let's see, I'm coming north. So I think I'd best stick with that as far as parts go. But that doesn't, you know, at some point I'll be done with this series in KSB and I'll be ready to start another one. And another one I could definitely put in a little bit more on the modding front. As far as parts go. This is a very nice and gentle. Very nice and gentle. I'm just going to pump everything forward. There. So much for pumping everything forward. I just pumped all the fuel back. And I actually have my hands away from the keyboard right now. It's very, very nicely balanced. Oh, Ferrum Aerospace. If I'm going to play with Ferrum Aerospace, I wouldn't play with the stock aerodynamic parts. I would bring in some of the procedural parts to help with that. I think Ferrum Aerospace with the stock parts, I don't know. But like I said, I want to keep the gameplay stock. I want, for this series, my goal was that anybody watching this who's just playing a completely stock game, has the 2 DLCs, could actually do the same thing I'm doing. Yeah, they wouldn't have trajectories maybe, but I'd like to help myself out at least a little bit. Man, this is, I should do a little time warping. Just realizing just how long this was taking. I'm going, I could do some physics warping here. I don't have to take this long. Maybe now take it off. feel like I'm coming short. Is it just me? Maybe not. I'll keep listening to Trajectories. Trajectories is certainly not saying I'm coming short. Oh, I'm going north, though. This way. I still have a lot of altitude. That was very calm. Here, let's do some time warping again. Excuse me. Oops, wrong way. That way. I get confused with, yeah, so whether, like, for instance, here it's saying east. I think east is, I think it's, I always get confused. Is this telling me that the KSC will be east of where it's predicting my landing will be, or that my landing is east? I think it's saying my landing will be east. So I think this is now telling me I'm a little short. So I got to pitch down. Yeah. I think. I don't know. But I always get that backwards. Is it telling me I'm going to land to the east, or is it telling me that the KSC will be to the east of where I land? I think right now I'm just losing velocity, so I best just pick up speed and get down there. I have no kind of... I need speed now. In fact, what I think I will do is just lose this entirely. So, clear that target. And turn off trajectories. And just do this eyeball waves. I don't think there's any fuel distribution that needs to be done. It all feels pretty good. So it seemed to work best when all the fuel was in this most rear tank rather than the most forward tank. Yeah, gotta get down there. Get down there. Just noticing we're subsonic now. I could actually move the wings a smidge forward, make it a smidge less nose heavy. But it ain't bad. Electricity is still good. Well, my biggest issue now is I feel like I'm losing speed. I need enough speed to get me to the runway. I've not noticed any problem with Firefly in terms of performance, but I did invest in a reasonably beefy computer, so I might not be the best one to be the general judge of that. So all told, it looks like this simulation going full from orbit and back again is going to cost me about 10,000 Kerbal. I think money well spent. Because I think I got myself a usable vehicle here. So we're still got to put it down on the runway. I believe my runway is still the Tier 1 dirt runway. Landing a space plane on a dirty runway. Okay, here we go. Oh, get rid of the Kerbal Engineer target crashing spot. Okay, slow down a little bit. Do a little bit of wiggle waggling. A little bit of flaring. Okay, straighten out there, Val. Don't need to repeat Jebediah. And tapping on the brakes. Oh, don't even need the tap. Hard brake. Boom. There. Wasn't so bad. All right. I call that successful. I think there's a few tweaks to do. But overall, that was sweet. And this should save me even more cash, you know. All I spent on this, well, I spent 10,000 simulation, but I mean, when this runs for real, it'll just be fuel. All right, let's end the simulation, do a couple of tweaks, and let's think about what we're going to be doing for the rest of this stream. All right, so what did we talk about? We talked about reducing the priority. We were talking about the forward tank, but honestly, I think I'm going to do this rear tank. I'm going to make this one a lower priority so it empties last. Actually, you know what? Let's put it back because I'm going to move the wings back too. Let's make these guys a lower priority. So they'll be the last ones to empty. Oh, good. There, we're symmetric. And we're also going to move the wings just a little bit back. Just a little. Where does that put the lift in the mass relative to it? I'm going to keep it that way. And also want to make some more things shiny. So, shiny, shiny. Oh. No, no, yeah. That's fine. Yep. And the landing gear. There's the bodies, yeah. Probably this too. Ah. And this one, even though you can barely see it. I can't even get in there. Oh, let me click on it. There we go. I think she's done. I think she's ready for a flight. Okay, so what we need to do... Let's clear this away. I'm happy with that. Let's take a look at her contract. So, got plant a flag on Minmus, science data from space around Minmus, build a new orbital station around Minmus, and gather surface deployed mystery goo observations. So, the orbital station, let's take a look at that. Because I wouldn't mind doing the same thing with Minmus as I did with the moon, which is put a lander up there and all of that kind of business. Oh my god, 4,000 units of liquid fuel on the station. Why does it always have to do that? Have 2 pilots, put your station in an orbit of Minmus. Okay, so let's go new. Let's switch to the, oops, base plane hangar. Let's open up my moon station because I'm going to be honest, I'm really thinking of getting lazy and just taking this to Minmus. So this is my moon station. Actually, this isn't quite right. Because I did turn all this stuff a bit. But that's my that's 4,000 units of liquid fuel combined with this, as I recall. I think right now, where does it say for liquid? There's 4,320. Yeah. So this went up in 3 modules. I'm honestly thinking of doing pretty much the same thing. That's what I'm thinking about. Okay. Yeah, so we'll bring up these two modules, and we'll bring up a space plane, and then that'll satisfy this contract. Or bring up... Yeah, so let me think. To be honest, I don't think I need to look at this. What I just need to do, let's go new again. Switch back to here. If I bring up the Moon Core module. Moon Station Core module. That's the one. And we'll modify this for Minmus. So let's, first of all, I do now have whoops. Sorry. Control Z that, throw that away. The root part is something weird. So let's, oh, that's because the root part, yeah. Let's change the root part to the probe core that's in the station. Just for now. And we'll look at what modifications we can. So we'll put the booster to the side. It may serve us well for Minmus as well. But this by itself will satisfy the contract, so that's what I'm thinking about. Now, one of the things, here, we'll take this off too, is I now have the ability, I now have 1.25 meter docking ports. I'm thinking about improvements since the last time. And that's what I'm thinking is I do have now, I don't have to use these crappy little dock and use the Clampetron's regulars. I might just keep, no, let's go with the other one there too. So right away we got some improvements there. This is the Octo probe core. Is that still my best one? It sure is. So that's still my best probe core, so I think I'm just going to leave that alone. Otherwise, this is, I think this is good. Yes, I know Fallout saying don't enter Minmus Station while in EVA construction mode. That is a problem that I had previously. Do I have Separatrons? How much science do I got? But I don't think I got enough for another node. Okay, so this is going to be Minmus Station core. Save that. Let's put this back on for now. I'm just going to quickly look at what my science situation is. Change out the solar panels. Thank you. Very good. Oh, I only have 30 science. Okay, so much for that idea. Oh, is it the hex is better than the octo? Am I backwards? Am I backwards? The hex is better than the octo, in which case I will switch it. You're right. You're right. The octo is the worst one. Okay, thank you. So we'll switch that with the octo. No, we'll switch the octo for the hex. I'm getting them backwards. Okay, so we will make this the root part. Why did it do that? I'm not gonna worry about it. Actually, maybe I should worry about it. There. And we will switch out this for the hex probe core. I just want to get those communitrons. I got 4 communitrons on there for some strange reason. One on the other side there now. Yep. Ever so slightly. Looks alright. Okay, this can get thrown away. I can go back on. And we can make the root part back to this again. Okay, good. Solar panels. Yeah, because I now have deployable solar panels, but I might just bring up those better solar panels with the lab module. These will serve fine for it so far. So it might just leave all that. Alright, let's take a look at our booster. How's our booster? Because going to Minmus and going to the moon are surprisingly similar. I'm going to now make the root part this guy. Oh, they opens over here. There we go. Close that. And close this one. Okay, let's just check our staging here. So we got all that. Oh, that is that. Okay, that makes sense. So we got some asparagus staging happening here. Let go. Oh, then that. Okay, this all makes sense. Never mind. Don't worry about me. So what do I need for a budget to get to Minmus? That's the next piece of all this. I'm gonna get my calculator. It's 230 meters per second for the transfer. Or 930, I'm sorry. Plus 150 for the capture. Plus, I'm gonna go 3600 for the getting into Kerbal orbit. 4680. Oh god, this has so much. I'm just gonna leave this vehicle. I'm not gonna change the bloody thing. I think it's good just the way it is. Let's check our launch TWR. Is lovely. I think everything's great. That's the one thing. Minmus and the moon have surprisingly similar budgets. Usually when you build something for one, you got the other one too. I'm just gonna go for it. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's launch. Let's launch and hand this off to Minmus. Oh, thank you. Oliver pointed out I should deactivate the pitch, yaw, and roll on the RCS on the horizon. I agree with that. So I'll try and really try to remember to do that coming up. So we are on our way to Minmus. It's been a long time since we've been to Minmus. We've, I think, landed there a couple of times. And what we want to do is launch at, it looks like, let's put the moon on its edge here. Looks like I might have just missed. I might be coming up really close to the ascending node here. The relative, yeah, it's right. Okay. Oh no, I just passed it. Let's do it. Let's launch. I just passed it, according to Kerbal Engineer. So we're going to launch right now. So Z, and we're going to pitch towards the north 6 degrees. Let's just do it. So boom, boom. We have just passed our relative ascending node with Minmus. And you always want to kind of launch at the nodes and then go into a 6 degree orbit to match Minmus's 6 degree inclination. Sorry, an orbit with 6 degrees. So I want to go to the north 6 degrees. So that's a heading of about 83 would be about perfect. So that'd be like 7 degrees, but you always want to go a little bit more. Lock that to prograde. A little this way. Okay, gonna be losing those radial boosters on the side in just a moment. A little too far. Go. And I'm coming up quite steep, but remember this thing has way more fuel than it needs, so I'm not too worried about it. Reduce throttle. Getting close to a minute to apoapsis, so I'm just reducing the throttle. 83 degrees like this is perfect. That's like 7 degrees north of 90, and that should put me into an inclination of pretty close to 6 degrees, and I can watch the inclination here. It's now 4.7 degrees, but I'm just going to kind of let this kind of ride. Inclination 5.1 degrees. Keep this on surface, please. I'll lock to orbit once my inclination is right. 5.2 degrees. Five point 5.4 degrees. Now we did launch a little late, so that'll be a little off, but we should be very, very close to being in the same plane as Minmus. 5.6. Make sure my apoapsis isn't going to get above 80. A little more throttle. 5.7, 5.8. 5.9. And that's a 6-degree inclination, so we'll lock this to the orbital prograde vector, and that should keep that on 6 degrees, in theory. Consider adding inclination to your Kerr HUD. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. I don't mind using these little guys down here. I mean, to be honest, the thing that annoys me the most about the information down here is how much of it is just useless. Oh. Sorry. That's by design. I forgot I had another stage. That is meant to fall back. That's okay. We are in space, too. 80. Inclination 6.0. It's like, what bugs me is like, this ejection angle is useless. Argument to periapsis useless. Longitude of the ascending node is useless. There's so much useful information they could have provided, and they just provided useless stuff. That kind of annoys me. Oh, I should have staged the fairing a long time ago. Don't I usually put that on 5? Oh dear. I think my action groups got messed up. Undock that. Lights? Oh, that's not messed up. Oh, there's stuff probably in here, is there? No. I really didn't go over this very closely, did I? Oh, we're almost, sorry, I gotta throttle up. That came close. I'm pitching up a bit because I've passed my apoapsis because I was not paying attention to what I was doing. See here, we're going down. Now we're not. Now I can lock back to prograde. Good enough. Good enough indeed. All right, still got 1394 left despite all the stuff going on. That's easy peasy. We're getting into Minmus. All right, let's see what we got. So our relative, 0.4 degrees. Wow, that is great. So now I should be able to just do a regular ejection, and my I should be getting a Minmus encounter without having to do the mid-course correction. Now, some people prefer to do the mid-course correction. Of course, that's fine, but I don't think it's that big a deal to, you know, do it. Put yourself into a matching plane with Minmus. I don't think it's that complicated. Some people, I guess, might. I don't know. I've heard people tell me it's too complicated, and I'm not. Is it really that bad? I didn't think it was that bad. Yeah, that's as close as that's going to come. Okay. Back that off. Let's get down those seconds here. So I'm coming a little bit to the south of it, but that's okay. Remember, I'm going to go for a polar orbit with this station. That looks polarish. We'll have to do a little... I don't want to be this far out, but that's good enough for now. We got 5 minutes to the burn, so let's just do it. Oh, turn that gimbal down. I hate that. So I hope people don't mind me getting a little bit too lazy. I mean, in my mind, if like I just basically just did a heading of 83 degrees. And normally you would go to a heading of 90 degrees, but if you can do a heading of 90 degrees, why can't you just do a heading of a different number? That's the part I don't really get. But whatever, each their own. 3 and 2 and 1 and go. There's no right or wrong way to play KSB. You do it the way it suits you. Inclination fixes at Minmus are dirt cheap. There is no doubt about that. And in fact, when a lot of my previous streams, I've been going to the moon, where the station is also in a polar orbit, and for almost all of those, maybe even all of those, I was always timing my insertion so that I would come in as the same plane as the station to minimize the inclination change I need to make when I'm in the moon. For Minmus, that really isn't that worth your while. You can just go whenever and just make the change when you get to Minmus, because they're also dirt cheap. So we'll be seeing that when we go to launch the next module. I'm not going to worry about timing it or anything like that, though I'm going to launch it right after this one, so... And I'll send some Kerbals up. I have no idea. I think I have an other Cerberus. Sorry, I should really watch what I'm doing from here. Which is my little Kerbal system runabout vessel. I think I have one docked at Kerbal Station in low orbit about Kerbal, but I'm honestly not 100% sure. We're going to find out pretty soon. Okay, should be seeing... Here it comes. Use a little... Oh, I don't have RCS on this thing. Who am I kidding? I can do... Just turn this thrust limiter down. Alright. Boop. And we got to do a teeny tiny little mid course correction. Put this in a 15-kilometer orbit, I think. And try and make this as close to 90. Always some eyeballing associated. I always am not sure, if you're in inclined orbit, is the pole of Minmus still going straight north-south? Or is it perpendicular to the plane of the orbit? I honestly don't know the answer to that question. Which does affect whether this is 90 or whether straight up the screen is 90. I'm going to go with the assumption that Minmus is perpendicular to the plane of its orbit. That might be a wrong assumption. You think it's just north-south against the elliptic. So you think it's actually north-south. Like, I should come back a little bit. Like, it's more like this way. No, I'm fiddling with degrees because I'm probably not doing this that accurately anyway. So it's probably not worth really getting too concerned with. All right. So there we have our correction. 0.9 meter per second correction. Let's, this is going to have to be like 0.5. Well, let me, 0.5. There we go. Even that turned it to a, 13-second burn now. Okay. But I think what I shall do, once I've oriented this for some good solar panel exposure, is I think I'm just going to go launch the next module. Remember, this thing's supposed to have 4,000 units of liquid fuel aboard. Okay, so let's get back to the Space Center. Let's get the next one going. You know what, but yeah, KSP planets don't have axial tilt, but when you measure the axial tilt, is the axial tilt measured against the ecliptic, or is it measured against the orbital plane of the planet? I honestly don't know the answer to that question. I should probably look that up. I don't know. Like, even in real life, I don't know. You know, the Earth's... oh, no, but Earth's orbit is... Is it? I don't know. Okay, let's get the fuel module. So this is the Moon Station fuel module. I might be so overthinking this, too. So this... Oh, my golly. Okay, let's change some things here. That looked awful. So this is the fuel module. And again, I want to change the docking ports. But I might not be changing much else. I hope people don't mind me being lazy, but I feel like being lazy. Okay, I gotta rebuild the fairing. Again, down here, there's a docking port. Do it this way. Take that off. Is the docking port the actual root part? Like, what the heck? There we go. 0.5 meter docking port, upside down. Then this can go on here. And I'm going to go over my action groups with this. Close that. So all of this fuel's not to be used. This thing has 5,000 meters per second at delta V. It has a launch thrust to weight ratio that's absolutely ducky. And that's going to be, again, plenty. Plenty. So let's build this fairing back. I don't know why these lights are on. Oh, there we go. Should be able to just drop that in here somewhere, right? Come on, be nice. Be nice to me. I saw blue. I saw blue. I saw blue. I saw blue. I by accident hit the Windows button. There. Okay. That's good, good, good. I mean, this thing flew once before. Why not just do the exact same thing again? I think so. You should put in a little mining probe so you can use Minmus Station as a gateway. Yeah, but I don't have any of the mining stuff yet. But definitely Minmus is a good place to, you know, take ore from and refine it and send it to other places, or use it as a launch platform to go to other places. This should be Minmus Station. I think I already saved it once, so. Okay, this has RCS aboard. Should be good, should be good, should be good. I have... Let's go over my action groups, because that seemed to have gotten messed up last time. In the... Oh, I was hitting 5. That was my mistake, and I don't have those action groups yet. Okay, let's just take the fairing out of the staging diagram, and that is the 2 radial decouplers. All of those guys go off. I think this is ready. That was my mistake. Alright, let's launch. That's the 4,000 units. Yep. Launch this one. And then we'll put some Kerbals up. Alright, so once again, I'm going to set Minmus as the target. Well, that's just us. And according to here, I think I got to go around to the other side. I think we just missed our window. Well, of course we did. Like, the other one was pretty much right on the window. This one's a little bit past. Yeah. So what we're going to do is come around to the other side here. And you can eyeball this even without Kerbal Engineer. If you put this all on your edge and you time warp to your ship is right, especially if you center the view on the planet. Set Minmus as a target again. Get all these orbits right on edge. And when you're right in the middle here, and this time we'll be launching 6 degrees towards the south. But I also have Kerbal Engineer. It's telling me it's coming up in 53 minutes, so that helps too. And we'll do a night launch. Why not do a night launch? Just realized I didn't set an alarm for that maneuver, so I got to make sure I do not forget these maneuvers. The correction that I set up. Okay. 2 minutes away. I think I'm going to launch maybe a minute early because it takes a couple minutes to get up there. I don't know, maybe launch right on it because like we were 0.4 degrees off. That worked pretty well. I'm going to get this right to 0 and then I'm going to launch. That might be the way to do it. Okay, so this time we're going to go... Ooh, we got thunderstorms in the vicinity. I don't know where they are. This time we're going to go 6 degrees towards the south, so that's adding 6 degrees to 90, so 96, but then a degree more. So really my heading's going to be around 97 degrees. And I think we can launch whenever we want. I don't think there's any urgency to it. So let's go. 3, 2, 1, and go. We'll see some lightning back here. I can hear the thunder going. Okay, so pitching over and again, about 97 degrees would be my goal heading here. Oh, I do not have, I should have updated the, don't have locked program. Oopie. Should have upgraded the Pro Core. That's okay. Just have to fight with this manually. Saw a little flash of lightning down there. This thing has huge radial boosters on it. inclination doing here? 5.6 degree inclination. Working our way over. .9 6. Go to orbit. Orbit. And sticking onto that orbital vector. Best I can. Time went down. My time to apoapsis is going down a little bit, so I just sort of pumped up the throttle a little. Alright, let's see how the fairing does. That worked out right. Inclination's still okay, still 6.0, so happy with that. Almost finally dry on those radio boosters. Lights on too. Well, oh wait, that probably will deploy. Let's wait till we're out of the atmosphere. I'll read the chat in just a little bit. 6.0 still on the inclination. Oh, that's space, so lights. Oh, the lights are on. Oh dear. Got weird togglies happening. Okay. That up. Alright, that is 80. Antennas are deployed. Are all my lights on? I think so. I'll probably lose. I think this is just hanging on here now. Oh, maybe not. There it goes. Have you ever done a circumnavigation of Kerbal by plane? Takes a while, but it's worth it. Don't think so. Maybe I have. I don't know. If I did, it was only to get to some waypoint on the other side, and then I just decided to come around the other way. I find long-distance plane flights kind of boring, so I typically wouldn't do that. Or I've done that by just building a space plane and going suborbital, but I don't think that's what you mean. Yeah, you can see Minmus from Kerbal. I did know that. That is true. Okay, so again, 6 on there. That is great. Okay, let's time warp a bit. Kind of wish I did remember to upgrade the probe core, but I did not. So this core stage is going to be like, it's going to carry us all the way to Minmus. All right. Okay, same dealie. Yeah, but even at 4-way time warp, flying takes around the planet takes a long time. come back. I was going for that normal vector and just kind of over torqued it. Now I got to come back again. There we go. That's good enough. All right. Again, what's our inclination difference? 0.1 degrees. So waiting right until it's at... Okay, that worked well. So right to when Kerbal Engineer says you're there, and then you just do it. I used to think to launch a couple of minutes early because it takes you several minutes to get up there, but I guess not. So with even a lower, I'm going to actually Kershmakify it here. All right, that's good enough. Okay, we got 20 minutes to this burn. This thing's a lot of weight. Don't forget, there's like tons of fuel up there for that stupid part of the contract. And speaking of the stupid part of the contract, just we'll take a look at it one more time after I do this, just to make sure I'm not missing anything. There isn't like, oh, have a thermometer aboard. I always miss that kind of stuff. Alright, got here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Probably going to turn the throttle down on that. Throttle limiter. So that feels like it's a lot of thrust right now. Excuse me once again. Cut that throttle a little and just put it back onto that maneuver node. Finish this off. Okay, there it is. And I'm thinking now this guy has some RCS, so I can, even RCS is like such tiny little adjustments at this point. Oh my gosh, okay. Alright. Ooh. I don't know whether I should be going north or south. I want to match what the other vehicle did. Okay, let's take a look at the other. Do I have it as a station? Or do I have it as a probe? I probably have it as a probe. No, I don't. Where's the other... Where's my other vessel? Oh, it's in here as a crewed vessel. Okay. I didn't know whether I'm going north of Minmus or south of Minmus. I should have them both go the same way. So I'm just going to switch to this one just to check. This is our first module here. While I'm at it, why don't I rename... And this is a station. It's not a ship. And we are going... If I focus my view here... South of Minmus. Okay. And actually, while I'm here, let's create an alarm. Oops. That's in the way. For this maneuver, give me like 3 minutes of warning. Okay. Now I can go back to the other one. What are we doing at this moment? We are bringing a couple of modules up to start a Minmus station. So we got a contract. One of the requirements of the contract is that I have 4,000 units of liquid fuel. That's what all this business here is about. So we have sent 2 modules thus far. And the next step in all this is to send a third. Or no, not to send a third, sorry, to send up some Kerbals. That's what we're going to do after, once this is all done. But we're going to set up this correction burn. So we're going to the south. Again, about 15 kilometers. Again, this is a tiny, itsy, bitsy, teensy, weensy burn. Alright, so, and that's coming up in a day in 3 hours, so we will, well, first of all, let's turn this thrust limiter right down to 0. Actually, this one could be 1 to do with the RCS. Like that. What's that do for me? 5-second burn, and orient this for solar panel purposes, and at the same time, create an alarm. For that maneuver. 3 minutes warning. Add that. So we still got, you know, almost a day here before this first one comes along, so. This thing is a real pig. I'm sure that will be fine-ish. Just leave. Back to the Space Center. Excuse me again. For those people joining new, I am fighting a cold. All right, we're going to time warp this to sunrise, and we're going to get our Kerbals up. So let's get in here. Looking at the time of the stream, this might work out perfect. Not going to all get to Minmus, I think, today, but we at least got all of our components up today. So they are going up in our Horizon spacecraft. The KSV, yada, 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 put a bunch of numbers on here, but this is it. Now, somebody pointed out that I should show the actuation toggles and remove the yaw, pitch, and roll on the RCS, and they are completely right. Okay. So let's do that. Oh, shoot, I just removed the symmetry. That would... Oh, doesn't matter anyway. Pitch and roll, and that one should be done. And then there's ones down here. And that one should be done. Okay. All right, and we got to pick our crew. So let's take a look closely at this contract, make sure we're not missing anything. Has to have a docking port, generate power, and be fully assembled at launch. That part's always confusing, but you don't have to do it all in one launch. 7 Kerbals. Oh my god. Oh, yes, it will. Because we got... Oh, I'm not 100% sure it will. Well, if it doesn't do it, because the Cerberus holds 4. I can't remember what the core module had on it. That might be a problem. We'll fix that. I have a lab module to go up. That'll fix it if it doesn't. The 4,000 units of fuel there. I have to have 2 pilots and maintain stability. Okay. So I do need 2 pilots. Valentina sure wants to go. No, Valentina has planted a flag on Minmus. Let's look for our other pilots. We have Deluxe. Deluxe did an orbit of Minmus. I want to put the person that's going to get the most... Oh my gosh, Valentina and Deluxe are my only 2 pilots that I have on the ground. So that has decided that pretty quick. And we will send up an engineer. So Bill has done an orbit of Minmus. William C has not. So I think William C might be my... Yeah, let's set William C in there. And... ideally, because a lab module will go up there eventually, I would love to have 2 scientists, but you know, I think I'm just going to have 1 for now because the Cerberus only holds 4 Kerbals. So I'm going to put in 1 more. Bob has orbited Minmus. Roland has not orbited Minmus. So Roland's going to be my person. Boom. Okay, there's our crew. The core module has 4, and the Cerberus has 4 as well, so that'll be 8. I'm being told in the chat, but the Cerberus is not a new vessel, so it might not count. So we'll just have to see what happens. Okay, we're going to launch this puppy. I think it's all ready to go. So let's do it. Actually, I'm just thinking... Now let's just do it. I don't think I sent up any struts. Excuse me once again. My water's got dried. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. My water went dry too. That does not help. Okay, lights on. We're going to Kerbal Station. I started this stream coughing, and I seem to be determined to end it coughing. Okay, here we go. Set that as a target. It's just gone by, but I think I should wait. I think I should bring it around again. We'll see when we get all the bits there whether we satisfy that 7 Kerbals or not. That's what I'm a little worried about. Okay, so this is going to Kerbal Station. It's been a while since I've been to Kerbal Station. I'm not even convinced that I have the... Whoa, look at those lights. That I have the requisite vehicle to get these folks to Minmus. And if I don't, then I'll just have to deal. But we'll get these folks up there anyway. Okay, throttle up. Let's do it. So this is my first crew of Kerbals to go up in a reusable vehicle. We are going up in a classy vehicle. Still relatively low tech, but a space plane nonetheless. Lock that on. Might have pitched over a little bit too hard, so I'll just kind of take it off the lock to prograde for a little bit. Coming through the clouds and up we... Oh yeah. Now, the one thing to remember, although I did do one launch before, that launch was in simulation mode. Because I'm playing in hard mode, I do not have the ability to revert. I am pitching over too hard. So if things go wrong, I gotta live with it. Alright, locking back to prograde. Doing it right now. Oh boy. Reducing that throttle, keeping that apoapsis nearby. I honestly wasn't feeling too bad before I started this stream. And then as soon as I started talking, but then I think the whole middle part of the stream I wasn't coughing too much, and now all of a sudden my body's sensing that we're getting close to the end. It's going, I'm gonna start you coughing again. Yeah, picked up a bit of a cold. Actually, we had really poor air quality because of the wildfire. I'm living in Ontario, and there's wildfires in Manitoba and Saskatchewan. And we were getting the haze, and I think that's what got me started on it, and then I picked up some sort of respiratory cold. But I'm on the mend. Alright. Looking good, looking good. I like this thing. I do. Alright, we'll keep the throttle constant from here on in. No more fiddling. It's honestly really not that complicated thing to do. You know, if you abandon the whole idea of using jet engines, because I have crap jet engines right now, so that's not going to work. But if you just say, nah, we'll just throw a trio of Reliance down here on the bottom. Just make sure you got enough fuel, that it's balanced and can fly. Bob's your uncle. You're built yourself a space plane. Okay, here we go. And my wife wasn't bothered much by the haze at all, but it got to me. But then again, my lungs are a little messed up. Not too messed up, just a little messed up. Okay, very close to the end here, so we can deploy our solar panel. I don't believe I put that ever on an action group, so I'll just have to do it that way. And again, we're very close to our orbital velocity. Our periapsis is almost out of the surface, so this isn't going to take too much to complete this. And then we'll make our way to the station. You know what's nice about it, too, is I like the vertical landing, or the vertical takeoff. It's a vertical takeoff, but horizontal landing, but it makes you just fly it like you would fly a normal rocket when it comes to getting it into orbit, which I like. I like when things are easy. Okay. are... Fiddle with this a little bit. Get our counter. Oh. Just down to 1 second interval. See if we can get this fairly close. I don't know if you can read it, but it's 1.3 kilometers right now. I think that's about as good as I'm going to get. So a little bit of an inclination difference. 0.3 inclination difference. Why? Man, I had an easier time getting them in this. Okay, that's okay. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm just noticing 0.7 degree. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to shut down 2 of these engines. 0.7 second burn time. I'm shut down the 2 outside engines. We're just going to go on this inside engine. I'm still going to turn this down. Just do not need that much thrust. Okay, let's do it. What is my favorite space movie? Wow. That's actually a really tough question. I mean, I could say the pretentious thing of saying like 2001. I don't know if some people consider that pretentious. Which I do honestly adore, but I'm trying to think now. There must be something else that's really grabbed my fancy, but it's just... I don't know why it's not hitting me right now. I did very much enjoy The Martian. Of course, you can go with the more classic and historical, like Apollo 13 or something like that. Though, yeah. Okay, I gotta get ready to do this bird. I need to put this on here, don't I? There we go. And I know right after this, I'm gonna think of something. Oh, I should have said that. That movie was perfect. You know what? I think I can burn a little more here. I'm just looking at that intersect distance. Oh. That, it's starting to go back up again. Okay. So I got about 1.24, 1.23. Yeah, that's as good as that's going to get. Okay. There's tons of... Yes, there is. Okay. Let's get there. We're going to be there in about 13 minutes. Oh, now I'm seeing all kinds of good suggestions up there. All of them are great. All right, where are you, station? You're out there somewhere. I have to hit F4 to see. Oh, no, there you are. Might give myself a little bit more thrust on that engine. Oh. We did it just a little, but 122 meters now. I like it with the sun in the background like that. I'm not sure if my mic is picking this up at all, but I am hearing rain outside. It is really coming down. And it's been so long, I don't know how many streams it's been, but it's been a long time since I've been at this station. I have no idea what's here. The Dish with Sam. Oh yeah. Oh, you know what movie? I don't know why Sam Neill made me think of Sam Rockwell, which made me think of The Moon. Or Moon. It's just Moon. There was no the in it. That was a great movie. Not kind of a space movie. Yeah, it was a space movie. You go back to the original Alien movie. All right. Station is in sight. What do we have? That is the question. I'm not even sure if this space plane is capable of docking with this thing. This has been very ill-conceived, I'm beginning to realize. Okay, let's, okay, we can control from here. So I should, just a little bit more, just slowing down a bit more. Okay. Where are we going to put this thing? Okay, there's a Cerberus. That's cool. And it's got no fuel in it. Because, of course, it doesn't. I think my only available... Oh, wait, down here. This is definitely where I want to go. So let's go back to here. Okay, this is working. This is working. Set that... Set as a target. Okay, let's... RCS and backwards, and I just... Oh, now I don't know which way's which. There we go. Slow down and go backwards. Already using up tons of mono. Oh my gosh! You're gonna crash into this, aren't you? This way. Boy, this really doesn't like to move quickly, but I love those little mono, because you're hardly using any mono propellant with all of that. Okay, so if I go back to, I don't think I'm going to hit. I go back to here, I control from here, and I can see this is right on the normal vector. Ooh, that's nice. So that means, or the anti-normal, normal, I don't know, one of those. So if I put this one right on here, that should have the docking ports lined up. Just like that. Okay, and now I can see I need to move that retrograde that way and this way. And start moving inwards. Looking for that prograde vector to come up. Yeah, I really should get docking alignment indicator. That does make this all a lot easier, but well, we're getting it. We're getting it. It's getting there. Yep, we're looking good. We're looking good. Should get ready to toggle this torque too. And come on, come on, come on. There we go. There we go. Toggle that torque. While you're at it, toggle the torque in this cockpit. And shut down that engine. All right, our first space plane to this station. Looking pretty good aboard. This is our vehicle that's supposed to take us to Minmus. This vehicle here is the vehicle that took our moon crew up from orbit. They're going to get back here and take a look at this and go be completely jealous of our Minmus crew. That's for sure. But this thing looks like it is pretty much devoid of fuel. And I definitely do not have enough fuel to refuel this thing. So our Minmus transport is a little bit fuel starved, so we're going to have to bring some fuel up here, fill this vehicle out, pile these folks aboard, and send them up the Minmus. But looking at the time of the stream, I think that's going to have to be for next week. So in the meantime, I want to thank everybody that's in the chat. Thank everybody watching this at a later date. And an extra special thank you to the Patreon patrons and YouTube members who support this channel directly. Thank you for putting up with me coughing through this whole thing. Have yourself a fantastic week, and we'll see you all next week. Bye, everybody.